record. Okay, assist is this video today. Good morning, everybody. Hi, how we doing? Are you as tired as I am? Yeah, I know, right? Okay. Well, good to see you all. Eva's online. Hi, give her a little wave. Um, and I think Hannah's not feeling well. She won't be here today. Is anybody else? Who are we missing? You're good. It's all right. We're slow to start today.
Yeah, I had to make my coffee. I couldn't make my house.
You're good. I'm usually such a stickler about time, and I'm like, it's so you guys are catching me in. All right. Well, how are we all doing? Doing okay? Are you that tired? You're like, and we're done. Well, today, how are we feeling with the sequence quickly? Fist to 5? How are we feeling with teaching? Okay, good. Eva, how are you feeling with? Okay, awesome, good. You're all about, okay, you're all 0.5. Love it. Good, okay, good. And you had your practice teach yesterday? Yes, yeah, all that. Okay, good, awesome. I like to just check in. I'm actually with you all the next 3 sessions. So tonight or today, and then Tuesday night and Thursday night. It's like I don't get to see you all, and then all of a sudden so it's great. So today we're going to talk assist. We're going to talk about teaching online. We're going to talk about cueing, different ways to assist with our words and to hopefully dispel any anxiety or just like things you might have around myths or around assist, and to kind of really dive into that today. So how do we all feel about assist? How are we in that category? Are you feeling good about it? Or are you like, no, I don't know what? Mm-hmm. Yes. Do we like, how do we feel? Do you like receiving assists? Yes, ish. So. Sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to expand upon that?
I don't know, just sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How do we feel about giving them? 3. Okay, we can use words too. We're all just gonna sign numbers today. Well, okay, so we will, whatever number you're at, I hope we can at least bump it up one more after today. That's kind of my goal, where especially like giving. And know that here's the deal with assist. Really, it boils down to it's an opportunity to educate your students on something. So you kind of determine what that is when you are going into their space. And that could be to relax, something as simple as, can you relax your traps down a little bit? Or can you extend something a little bit longer? Like assists don't have to be, I think sometimes where we can get hung up with them is that we feel like they need to be these big, deep, profound things for people. And what I will tell you after assisting for many years, that it doesn't need to be that way. It can simply just be a nice, loving, supportive point of contact with someone to just make them go, oh, okay, oh, that's nice, or something along those lines. So please don't put all this pressure that you have to like do anything like wildly intense or anything like that with your assists with people. Okay. Have you ever had a bad assist? Yes. Tell me more about that. Do you remember what?
I remember some balance.
A balancing. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know.
Yeah. You will do that to someone at some point. Just know that it will happen. Like it's one of, and here's the deal. If it happens, if you're working with someone and they tip over, or like it happens. And what I always try to do with that is check in, make sure they're okay. And you just laugh about it. I think that's an important thing, to just have a good sense of humor about it, because there are days where it can just happen sometimes. Or you reach in and you grab someone and you're like, oh, that was a boob, sorry. Or, like, I think if you're going in with a clear intention, people know and they'll give you grace throughout that. So it doesn't always have to be perfect when you're going in with someone's space. Okay, we're gonna do a little activity. So we're all gonna come into a circle, and Ava, you're gonna come in with us. You'll just be doing this on your own a little bit here. Okay, so let's all come in close. We want to sit knee to knee. So we'll make a little circle, and you just pretend like you're in the circle with us. Okay? I'll just put you right here. We're gonna get in tight in our circle here.
I'm sitting cross-legged too,
Okay, perfect. Okay, love it. Yeah, so, all right, so sit up nice and tall and roll your shoulders out a little bit. And just take a big breath in, nice big breath out. So one of the things when we step into people's space is getting our energy, getting ourselves set up and nice and clear before we do. So let's just take a couple moments here to sit tall and close your eyes and just take a moment to ground yourself with your breath. So taking big inhales and exhales and setting your intention of when you do go in to assist someone, of what is that you're trying to create? What sort of energy do you want to bring into the space for them? For me, it's always a sense of service, no matter what. I'm grateful I get to do this work. So it's always taking a couple moments of gratitude to be in service when I show up. But letting your breath ground you into the moment, getting yourself set right. And let's bring hands to heart center. Take a big breath in. Big exhale, let it go. And let's find an Om together. Big breath in. Nice. Now keep your eyes closed and begin to rub your hands back and forth. Get your hands nice and warm. So you may have heard this when you're in class, right? Of people rubbing their hands back and forth a little bit. This is always nice if your students' eyes are closed to do this as you're approaching them so you don't scare them. But it also just kind of gets your energy cleared and ready, warms your hands up in case you're someone who has chilly hands. Okay, then pause here. Let your palms still continue to touch. And just take a couple big breaths here, palms touching. And direct your breath, direct your energy towards your hands. Just notice that space there. Now pull your hands away from one another a little bit, just about 6 inches or so. Take a big breath in and out. Then bring your hands back in to touch. And then pull them back out again, maybe shoulder width. Breathe into that space, then draw it back in. It's almost like an accordion sort of action, in and out. The next time your hands come back together, keep them there, rub them again, warm them up again. And then this time, let's turn the palms. You can open your eyes for a moment. Turn your palms out so your palms face one another. And Eva, you just keep with your palms together and let your palms touch. You can touch it. Touch your hand. Okay, now close your eyes and just take a couple of big breaths. Nice big breaths in and out. Good, breathe in. So I want you to now, as you're here, imagine just sending some nice healing energy out through your right hand. Letting that send to your neighbor to your right. And allowing your left hand to receive. Good, now pull your hands away just a couple of inches. Pull them away and breathe. Nice and steady. Big breaths in and out. And bring your hands back to touch each other if you can. Find them with eyes closed, best you can. Good. Breathe into that space. Can you send the energy all the way around the circle? That giving and receiving, that exchange of energy. Good. And now bring hands back to heart center. Palms are rubbed together one more time. Big breath in. Big breath out. Nice. And now eyes open and release the hands and just shake them out a little bit. Let that go. Okay. How did that feel? What did you all notice? Anything? Any observations? When you're breathing together, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else? What did you notice?
When you said send it around, see if you can send it around the circle, I can see like a yellow light.
A yellow light?
Go
Huh?
around just go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Eva, how about for you? What did you notice? Anything?
I noticed that I don't pay attention to my hands that often. And
Mm.
so it felt, I don't know, like centering or grounding in a way, just to like have more awareness of my
Mhm.
hands and like how they physically feel. And it was also just like a nice way to like arrive, I feel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Love that. Great. What else?
I definitely felt like this hand was like not, I don't want to say empty, but my words like, but I was like letting go, like giving, and then this hand I was like getting it. I was like, so like definitely the two spectrums of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
feel like I felt the opposite of that. I felt like zooming in the right hand and then less in my left hand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It felt like a tingling
Yes.
sensation.
Mhm. Yeah. And so we do this one to just experience that exchange of energy, as we know that when we get into people's space, like you can feel it, right? Even when we pulled our hands away from each other, you can still sense them. Yes, probably. I'm assuming. Yeah, right. So like we want to be mindful, one, of that we set ourselves up right when we step into the space to teach, to adjust, whatever that might be, that we take a moment. That's why we omed first. We took some deep breaths, got grounded before. So it's not just like you just roll in all like, ah, like take a moment to ground yourself, get yourself set right, to center yourself. And then when we step into that space, we're really mindful of it. We're breathing. That's going to be the biggest trick, I think, when you're working assist, because it's like if you kind of start getting your head of like, am I doing this right or whatever, you're not breathing. So they're not going to like feel that. So you get to kind of control that. So if you can like just stay really steady with your breath, it's going to help with that. And so we just are really mindful how we get in and out of the space. And it's just that nice connection point as well, right? To connect and share that energy. And I hope you felt it from afar, from all of us. You're in the mix too. Yeah, perfect. Okay, good. Okay, we can go back to our seats now. Right. Eva, how long will you get to be with us today?
For about an hour more.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. Yay. Okay, so let's take a look at in your manual. We're going to talk a little bit on page 103. Now, have you all been doing a lot of assists already in your foster clinics and all this stuff? Yeah, yeah. Mhm. Great. Now, let's go through. Okay, and what I want us to, are there any assists that you've learned at this point or you've seen maybe an observing class or anything along those lines? You're like, wait, I don't remember. This one's weird. I'm super confused. I want to get this. I can't get it down. Are there any that you are feeling like that about it? Because I'm going to do a running list as we go along. So yes,
The gorilla assist is confusing.
Gorilla.
I
Okay.
don't think I feel right.
Okay, what else? Is there anything else?
First, who are you?
Okay. Mm-hmm. What else?
Oh, the plank fishing in the feet. I guess I don't quite understand
what
that is.
Plank. Okay, great. We'll talk about that. Okay. Any other ones? Top of your head? Yes.
Maybe the eagle balance pose?
We'll see as we go. If you're like, oh yeah, if the caffeine has not kicked in yet this morning, and you're like, oh yeah, this one. We'll get to it. We'll cover some more as well. Okay, so let's go through the tenets here on page 103, those tenets of assist, and remembering that it's all educational, right? Hopefully we're giving some little bit of education for our students with this. So number one, safety. So not only is it to keep your students safe, but you want to really be mindful that you're keeping yourself safe. And this is like for real. There are multiple ways you can hurt yourself with assisting. One, so this is why if you've ever taken my class, you'll know that I'm very particular about the mats set up in the room, that I like nice, clean rows. And that's why we have cubbies for people to put all their stuff up. Because if this gets cattywampus in here, it makes it hard for you to get in and out of people's spaces. And like if people have their glasses, if they set them on their mat, I'm always like, I'm gonna move these over to a ledge because I will step on them or kick them or something, right? It just, you want to like be really mindful of that space for yourself. Also, if you do teach something like hot yogis, right, you want to be really mindful that sweat puddles, that you know where they are, you keep that contained. I used to teach heated vinyasa classes, and I slipped in someone's sweat puddle once and got whiplash because I caught myself and just like my neck just went. I was like, oh, like I should have just gone down. I was like, I probably should have just fallen instead of caught myself. But it was one of those reminders of like that the room, we're walking around and moving and you're managing like, you're spinning 16 plates while you're teaching. And so to really be mindful of that space being clear. So that's part of the reason why I am so particular about it, is to keep myself safe when I'm teaching. And then your stance as well is that, especially anytime we're kind of pulling and exerting ourselves on something like, say, like floor bow, if you were doing that you really keep your spine long, your core braced, because you can hurt your back. It's very easy to hurt your back if you're doing something like that and you don't have a nice, strong, stable stance. And then as for like tipping someone over, right? We want to have a stable stance. So if we are adjusting someone in, say, a balancing pose, that we're stable, that we can catch them so that we all don't go crashing down to the floor. Okay. So it's just one of those things where it's like you don't think about it till you're in it and then you're like, oh yeah, woo, okay. Wash and energize your hands. This is before and after class, right? Making sure I always wash my hands right before I go in. And then right after class, I immediately go into the bathroom and wash my hands. One, it clears off, right? Any just like germs and stuff, which I mean, it's sweat, it's fine. And also just energetically, just to kind of so you're not taking people's stuff with you. It kind of just gives you an opportunity to kind of clear that off with you as well. Okay. Establish your intention. Okay, we talked about that. Being mindful of your approach. So this is twofold. One, we don't want to like bum rush into somebody's face, and we also don't want to like sneak up on them too. Like that. I don't know if that's ever happened to you before, but I've been in classes where I'm in it, and then all of a sudden they're just like there on me, and I didn't even know they were there. So this is where like walk with purpose, or like do this, especially if you're going up behind somebody, like make yourself known, because if people are like in the zone and like really in their bodies and in their practice, it can pull them out, right? You're just like, oh, right, if you just don't really notice that they're there. So be aware of where you are. Breathe, of course. Hands, be appropriate. I think goes without saying, but yeah, and don't be afraid to use your hands. I know that you all were taught kind of this-ish sort of thing, but it's okay to like use your fingers, like to really use your hands, because we'll do some stuff today that I think will help you to kind of play with that a little bit and see how that goes. Number 7, so getting permission, asking people, who would like assist. How do we do that here? How have you all heard that? How do we say it here at the studio? Who remembers? Are you? Mm-hmm.
Like, would not like to work to appreciate
Mhm.
and it's ongoing.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, I think that's important to say. It's ongoing. You can change your mind and keep it light. That's the thing, And sometimes I'll even say like, know that assists are not meant to critique you. I'll sometimes say I can see what you can't see. I get a 360 of you, and so that's where we're here to be helpful for you. But also, if you don't want it, that's okay too. Like letting people know, and know that there's no like perfect way with it, because sometimes like the criticism of doing it the way that we do it can be, well, people feel pressured to not opt out, right? They're like, oh, I don't want to be singled out as the person that doesn't want to assist. However, what I will say with that, I think our community, we've done a really good job of really giving people autonomy, and that we make it comfortable for people to opt out. I think in like an ideal world where like if you're teaching a small class, like 4 or 5 people, and you could do something like, if you want assist today, raise your hand. The majority of people will be like, yes. The people who don't raise their hand probably will be smaller. But so like in a larger class, that's harder to keep track of than to just see the like 1 or 2 people that opt out, because that's usually about it. I think the most I've ever had is in like a class of 40 was 3 people. And that's like a one-off. Like at most you get 1 person, maybe 2 that don't want an assist. But you just have to really keep in mind of like, okay, who is that person that opted out? To really check in with that, to be like, because once you get going, right, once you're moving along and teaching and you're adjusting, you're just kind of like one person to the next, and it's like, oh wait, no, they were. So however, you need to remember that for yourself, because especially when they're down like this, their head is down, they may be wearing a sweatshirt when class starts, and then like 15 minutes in, they take it off, and then you're like, wait, who was that person that opted out? So really in your mind, lock in like right by the pole, like whatever that might be for yourself to help you remember so that you don't forget. Because I've definitely, when I've had adjusting interns before, I've been in class where I'm like over here and I'm seeing they're going to adjust someone who opted out, and I'm like, like silently running across the room to be like, no, because we never know why people are opting out, but I don't want us to ever be in someone's face if they say no, thank you. Which then goes to the opposite. If people are like, they're basically opting in, if they don't opt out, that we make sure we adjust everybody. So with that being said, I always encourage you to really pick a pattern. So that may be, this is how I do it to remember. Oh, are you okay?
I just spilled my juice
Oh.
and that's
Okay. I love that you're carrying it.
Maybe you could shake it a little bit.
It's amazing. That's very, I was like, is there a bug? I don't know what's happening. So when you assist, so I'll often start like in a corner of the room, and then just depending on basically how everybody's set up, it might be like I go down this way and then I go this row and this, or I'll maybe do like 6 people right here and then kind of go in chunks that way. So you can kind of pick patterns that work for you, so that I wouldn't do it random. Don't be like, I'm going to adjust this person, then I'm going to go back here and then here, because then it makes it confusing for you. And then you're like, wait, did I get to everybody? Then you don't remember. So at least like make 1 or 2 laps around the room, so you get to everybody a couple times. And of course, like what would be a reason to break your pattern? Why would we break a pattern? Yes. Yeah. You see something that looks unsafe and you're like, ooh, I need to go help correct that. Yes. What else? Why else would we break our pattern? This is a practical. Oh yeah. Yeah. Standing in front of someone, you want to get out of the way.
maybe someone asked you to adjust them in this specific.
Yeah. Yeah, someone could ask. That will happen sometimes. Someone, can you help me? You know, they'll just ask you, which I'm always amazed when people do ask. I'm like, yeah, yes. The other thing is if you're adjusting something that has two sides, like a warrior two or revolve crescent, if you adjust one side, make sure you get the other side, right? So that might mean that if you adjust someone, say warrior two on this side, and you're over there in this part of the room with your pattern, you've got to get back over when you get to the other side, right? So just keeping that in mind of like, oh, I got to get back across the room for that person. I would also say too is the thing for us between like intention and making sure we adjust everyone, why I am such a kind of stickler personally about it is we just don't know what people's lives are like when they're not here. And you know, when people come to yoga, they're coming for many different reasons. You know, some people are coming strictly for like a workout of sense, right? They just want the flexibility and stretches and strength that comes with it. But a lot of people are coming for that connection, whether it's the community connection, their own internal connection, spiritual reasons, whatever that might be. And hopefully they're coming in knowing this is a safe space. And so some people may not get any kind of loving touch at all throughout their week. And this could be the one time that someone actually, you know, puts a hand on them and is loving and kind and supportive. And so that, and in the world that we live in, right, there's not a lot of that happening. You have to kind of really make intentions to like have that present. And so I just take it upon myself to be like, yeah, if you're coming to my class and you like, I want to make sure I just honor that for people because we just don't know, right? There's some people that this is like their only moment to really truly be around people, especially, you know, people work from home or they retire or whatever that might be, so that we make this as positive an experience as possible when they come into the space. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, number 9 here, knowing when to walk away. So on the flip side of that, you may start to adjust someone and you're like, hello, like, are you breathing? Has anyone experienced this yet? Or you're kind of like, is this Pinocchio? Like, what is happening? There's nothing, no one's breathing. I don't know what's happening. That's normal. So a couple of things that can happen is you might be like, say you're trying to like lift and twist or something, and you're like, they're just like, and that's where it's really important for you to breathe, right? You take some nice deep breaths. So you see it and tell them to like, okay, inhale, exhale, and see if that gets them going. And that may get the kind of turnaround so they like start to focus, or they may just be like, nope, they're locked in. And so if that is the case, just be like, okay, stay with it until you feel okay to just step back away. And then maybe you just leave them alone. Maybe who knows? It could be many reasons why they're not receiving the assist. 1, they might not understand. That could be it. 2, they were just in their head and they were not in their bodies. They have to fart and they're afraid if they let go at all, they could let go, right? Like I'm serious, friends. Like this could literally be something that happens to them. Or who knows, right? Maybe they had an injury and they forgot to tell you about it. You know, like there's so many reasons, and like don't make up the story that, oh, it's because of me. Just be like, okay, I'm just going to honor whatever is happening here. And I tried, and I will walk away and let it be. Yeah. What?
So say it was like one of those poses where there's 2 sides and you go to give them, you know, warrior on the right side and they didn't like it. Would you go back for warrior?
No, I actually had a thing that would be the time I wouldn't. I did have someone, and I knew there's a student that comes from my class, and bless his heart, I don't really understand. He's like, doesn't talk. He comes with his wife, so she always does all the talking. It's this really interesting dynamic that I cannot figure out. And I tried, you know, where you're just like, what's going on here? I don't know if he's just really shy. I don't know what it is, right? And I'm just like, it's not me. And he's been weird about some assists sometimes, like his body will do weird things. And then I went to adjust him in Lizard Lunge recently, and he just goes, wah! And like kind of came out of it. It was like, what is happening? And it was like, okay, right. I'm not going to do that. Like the only assists I'm giving him are like in halfway lift or when he's coming up to Tadasana. And I'm just like, mental note, because he keeps coming back even after it. So I'm like, okay, I don't know. And I've been like, is that okay? Like I don't know. It's very, and so you'll start to learn that with students. There'll be some people where you're like, some of these people, if I adjust them, it's just going to be like a light, lengthen and good. That's your assist today. And that's okay. Right. And some people will be like, you can really get in there with them and whatever. And that is okay. Right. It doesn't have to be a one size fits all. But it was definitely a moment where I was like, you all right? And he's like, yeah, good. And I was like, okay. You just gotta move on from there, right? Let it go. Okay, let's see what else. The anatomy, right? Understanding the anatomy and energetics. I forgot to bring a book. There's one, I'll try to bring it on Tuesday night for y'all. It's on Assist, and it's really great. She has arrows basically pointing of like, this is the way the energy goes. It's Stephanie like Papalapis or something. It's a great Greek last name. But it's a really good assisting book because it's very simple, good pictures, nice drawn arrows and all that sort of stuff. So it's good to know all of that stuff with it. And then 11, just being clear. So letting them know, like, because this is the thing is sometimes we'll put our hands on someone and then they're like, what do you want? What? They're left, you're feeling like, I don't know what you want me to do. So we got to just be really clear of like, do we want to lift? Do we want to expand? We're twisting, like get clear with that. And to also know you can use your words. So using your words is fine. If to be like, oh, drop your right shoulder a little bit. Like you can talk to your students like one-on-one a little bit when you're teaching as well. If you find that they're not quite understanding, you can have a conversation too with people. Just don't get so lost though in it that the rest of the class is like, hello, let me out of Utkatasana, like whatever. Because that can sometimes happen too. Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I want us to, and especially while we have Eva online, this will be perfect too, is we're going to do an activity where we assist without touching. So this would be like, we're going to talk using that and to think about teaching online. So we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit, but blend this up a little bit of what that can look like. So first of all, is anyone planning to teach online? Do you have like grand plans to do any online teaching?
I don't know. I mean, I have friends on the East Coast that I think one of them's going to do their friends and family.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then if you teach here, obviously, we do that, right? We have the iPads in the room, that sort of thing. So we're going to just chat a little bit about that, of kind of logistics of what that looks like, how that works. So things to keep in mind is I always treat the Zoom people as though, there may be like 5 people online, whether their cameras are on or off, doesn't matter to me, but I check in, I look in, I acknowledge them, like say their names because they're on the screen. So you can be like, good job, Stephanie, whatever that might be. You can cheer them on. You can also give them corrections online too. If you look, if their camera is on and you see something, you could be like, oh, walk your right foot out a little bit. You can teach to them online. And so don't just kind of ignore the people online. If you're teaching a mixed room, right, where you've got people here and people online. So you really want to, don't forget about them, check in with them from time to time. And then if you are teaching just people online, there's a couple ways you can do it. One, you might be doing the class with them, depending on whether they know what's going on or not. Or you might be able to, if they practice regularly, then you're just kind of telling them what to do because they know the poses. And then maybe you demo here and there if they seem like they don't quite know what's going on. So that's for you to kind of figure out if you do teach like just online classes. But if you are teaching to where you do need to demo, this is important to like get your camera set up so they can actually see you in the room, and I mean, this is all very obvious, but sometimes we don't think about it. Making sure you have a mic of some kind, because if you are over on your mat, you just can't hear as well, right? When you're that distance from it. So figuring out whether it's your earbuds or a mic or something along those lines. Here at the studio, we also share the playlist with people too. So that's something, if you do music along with it, you can do that. just post the link in the chat. And any way that you can make people just feel a part of the community, I think is important. And that's why I often, the beginning of class, I always acknowledge everybody at home using their names, saying hi. And then at the end of class, I always thank them. So I always say, thank you all for coming and sharing your practice with us, whether you were in studio or at home. Like, to really have that connection with people, to just feel like, oh yeah, like I am part of it, even though I'm at home. Because we have people, still doing that, since obviously this happened since COVID, right? Where we started doing classes online, and now we have people that have moved away, or some people still have not come back to the studio. Like, I have one person that takes my class every week still from home since COVID. Like, she's never come back into the studio, but she's still practicing online. And I think that's amazing, right? That people are still willing to do that. And I think it's important to just, acknowledge that, check in with them, you can get to know those people online as well. Any questions about online stuff, the teaching online, what that looks like? Yeah.
Some classes are and some
Oh, good question. I don't know the method behind why. That would be like a Kristen, Austin, Amber question. Probably, usually they try to, I think it's one, ideally we can't do it in hot yoga because of the heat. Because that's just,
it overheats.
yeah, it'll overheat the iPad. So we can't do heated hot yoga. That's for one. And then oftentimes it can be just like the busier time slots, get the like that, but it's usually trying to get at least, like, if there's a 5:45, whether it's here or over there, there's a 7:15, like they try to balance that out that way. Does that answer your question?
So it just depends.
Yeah, it just depends. I think they try to like do it so that people get just about every time of day. It just will depend on, since it won't matter which studio it is if you're online, kind of a thing. So
Are there enough iPads so that you can have like all 3 classes in here recording at the same time?
no, we just have the one iPad per studio.
Oh.
Mhm. Yeah. So there's only one here. Obviously, this is mine, but there's one here, and then there's just one at Austin Bluff. So that has to go up and down the stairs, or yeah. So we don't have more than one happening at once. Yeah. 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 And it's fun. I mean, it's weird. I've definitely taught funny things before where it was like a Wounded Warriors. I taught a class for them. They had some weekend thing happening. They were like, oh, will you do a class for us? And I was like, sure. So I was at the studio. There were like 50 people, and not one person had their camera on. So I was like, hey, well, I'm just gonna do the class, I guess, and teach. And so like, that's a whole thing, right? That's definitely a push too, to like make sure you keep up with your practice, because to teach and talk the whole time, like you don't learn to teach that way, right? As you all know, you have not learned to teach that way. So to teach that way is definitely a weird thing to get used to. And you're like, you get winded. You're like, ooh, okay, to be able to talk through that. So that's always an interesting thing when things like that kind of transpire. You're like, okay, there we go. But it is fun, and it's a nice opportunity with Zoom and Teams and all that. It's really easy to kind of weave that in for people. So when you do have for your friends and family, so make sure when you all are teaching, like check in with the people online, take a peek in and be like, how are they doing? Say, hey, like, because it's nice for them to just get acknowledged as well. I think people feel good, just like they do, when we use their names in the studio. Same thing online. Okay. So what we're going to do now, this is going to be a thing that you can do when you're teaching online and in person for, say, the person who maybe somebody opts out of assist, but you see that they need a little bit of help. If you're like, oh, they're brand new or they've not done much yoga and they need a little correction or some help in their practice, or you're teaching somebody online and you want to show them some things. So there's a couple things we're going to do. Using our cues and our body to kind of help people figure it out. So one of them is going to be, let me see, I want to tilt this so you can see here. Can I get a volunteer to come do a halfway lift for me? Someone, please? Not all at once, everybody.
Which way do you want me to see?
Let's go, that's perfect from there. That should work. I think, just I want to make sure that she can see you here. Okay.
My body is like.
I know,
stiff.
me too.
I just went, oh.
Okay, so look at how lovely. That's a very nice halfway lift, but now I want you to do a halfway lift that's not great. What do we often say? Okay, well, that's still not too bad. There we go, okay. So this is what we'll often see. So say that she opted out of Hands On Assist and you're like, okay, so, or you are trying and nothing is working to help this person. So this is what we can do. You come next to them and you're like, okay, bring your hands up a little bit higher. You roll your shoulders back and you can say, take a peek at me, look over here. So rolling, now lean forward, reach your chest forward. So see how there, and look, obviously she knows how to do it, but that often, you can come out of it. Okay. That often is the thing that helps people. Because some people are visual learners and they're like, I heard the words you were saying, right? When they're like this and you're like, squeeze your shoulder blades together. No. They just do this more, right? They don't know that's what that means. So if you go next to them and you just do a simple quick demo right next to them, show them, do a little walk through real quick, right? It took what, 7 seconds to just kind of say that and break that down. That's it. That's definitely a point in class where you will often see that kind of come up with people. So it's just a quick little demo, a quick little show, okay? So that one, note that one. What's another pose you think that people do things where you're like, oh no, what is happening here?
Side plank.
Side plank, yes. No, well, yes. We'll do down dog later. So warrior two. Warrior two is one where you will see people, they come up to warrior two and you're like warrior two and they come up like this, right? This is often the thing that you'll see. So someone come to a warrior two, please. Thank you. And do it like you just get as creative as you want. Pretend like you don't know what's going on. Yeah, great. So when this happens, couple of things. So this is where it's going to be kind of a demo / mirroring. So this is why it's always important to like, when warrior two happens, that we're on this side of the room so that everyone can see you in case someone comes up in this sort of situation. So when this happens, we do this. So we'll be like, okay, bring your hands to your hips. Can you bend that front knee a little bit? Good. Turn your toes out. Yeah, back foot turns in. And take your left shoulder back. And now your arms come out. And then you can look over your hand. Yes, good. Great. So what did you notice that I was doing that was different than what she was doing?
Opposite side.
Yes, I'm doing the opposite side. So I'm saying press your right knee out, but it's my left leg. So I'm having to do that, which feels a little bit kind of like this sort of thing, right? Where you're like, oh no, how do I? So you're looking at them and you're going, okay, right leg out, but you yourself are doing the opposite, which gets a little tricky, but it's really helpful when, say, you have like, so say everyone's in class like this, right? And they're all facing this direction, and you stand over here and you see a couple people do warrior two like that, well, then you're in a prime spot to do a really quick demo to show people what to do, and you mirror. Versus if you're back behind everybody, they can't see what to do. Right? And where do new people usually go in the room? The back or the sides. They hide out on the sides by a wall. They'll often be like, oh, let me get tucked in over here. But the problem is when they tuck in over there, then you get to like a right or left side of something, then they're like looking behind. Then they don't know what to do. So that's where it's important for us to kind of swivel around and get beside them. Okay? Okay, thank you. Okay, one more pose. Lizard lunge. Someone come do lizard lunge for me, please. Not all. Thank you.
It's not gonna be pretty right now.
Well, that's great. Now I want you to do a lizard lunge. Like, what do you think often happens in lizard lunge that we see people do?
Well,
So that's nice.
something with.
Oh, great. There we go. That's a good one. Okay. Love it. So this is where, again, let's say that Carly opted out of hands-on assist or something. And so this is where I'd say like, oh, can you walk your foot up here? You just point. I didn't touch her, right? But I pointed. Like, it's amazing what pointing can do, right? Yeah, so you can be like, point and then draw that knee out a little bit. Great, perfect. Relax your shoulders. Like, you can talk, you can use your words. Just because they opt out of hands-on assist doesn't mean you can't give them verbal assist or point like that. Okay, perfect. Thank you. That's it. That's all. That's not okay. That's okay. So, but I want you to think about like, oh yeah, when can I do that? So that could even be like a warrior too, because oftentimes people take a really short stance like this. You could say, oh, walk your foot out a little bit, point. Just kind of, you're not pointing at them, you're just pointing down, right? Those little things of like, scoot your foot this way. And using that can be a nice tool. And these are ways to assist that aren't putting hands on. Okay. All right. Questions about any of those?
I have
Go ahead, you.
Oh, thanks. I was going to ask for Warrior 2, one thing that I notice a lot is when people get into it, they tend to like lean their torso before
Mhm.
cue extended side angle.
Yes.
And I looked in the manual and I don't think, yeah, I don't see any like specific cues about like axial extension, but how might you say that? Because I've tried saying like stand up straight or stand up tall, but I feel like it doesn't always land.
Yeah. Okay. Well, someone come into it and do that exact thing, and then I'll cue you through it. Thank you. I love how yoga shy you all are today.
Warrior 2.
Yeah, warrior 2, and then do the lead. Yeah, this is often you will see this. So this is also why it's important to be on this side of somebody. So with that, I would say bring your hands to your hips. You bring your chest up, bring your torso up, stack shoulders over hips. So you can you touch on yourself so they can visually see shoulders over hips. Take your left shoulder back a little bit. Now take your arms out. So that's how I would say that. Yeah. And that, because sometimes when people are doing that, it's like, I think if you give them that visual, yeah, the other side, that visual cue helps them because they might be like, I do have, they're like, I am, right? They're like, she's not talking to me. I'm like, no, I am talking to you. So that's where you can just tell everybody, bring your hands to your hips. Everyone bring your shoulders back, stack shoulders over hips, and then like, look down. Are your shoulders stacked? You can say look down, because if you look down, you're like, oh yeah, I'm definitely not stacked here. So that visual cue. So that's how I would do that. That's typically how that one works for that.
Thank you.
In fact,
So I was in Morgan's class I was talking about the other day, and she had like a mobility issue. So she was sitting in a chair while she was teaching for a while. And there was a safety cue, like during fixed firm, like keeping the knees on the ground.
Yeah.
And so without getting up, she just said the person's name and was like, come up on a block and like keep your knees on the ground. And I was wondering, like, say you're like in the opposite corner of the room and you see a safety cue. Is it frowned upon to say a student's specific name and be like, make sure you're doing this? Like, is there any case where that would be acceptable other than like mobility?
Great question. Yeah, I say one, especially if you have a good rapport with your students, which Morgan does, right? Her students know her, they love her, they know that she's there watching out for them, and especially because she's in a chair, so she's got mobility. So for someone like that, especially with that kind of thing, you can communicate like, hey, I may be giving you verbal cues, just saying your name. But yeah, I have done that in class before where I've been across the room and I'm like, oh, Candy, drop your right hip a little bit. Like just specifically said that, or even to people online. Now, what you don't want to do that I've done. So I was in a class in Amsterdam a couple of years ago, or last year, actually. This whole class, we can maybe talk business of yoga. We'll talk about this yoga class because there were all sorts of things that happened. But it was just like, wow, okay. But one of the things that happened that I was like, oh, I would be, well, you tell me how you would feel about this. So the teacher's teaching and it's a vinyasa class, we go through the chaturanga and he cued it to lower to the belly, come up, cobra and down dog. But we're like in the flow. It's no longer the breakdown. We're like flowing like, I don't know, it's like the second or third round of a sun A or something. And apparently a girl, a couple people over from me,
did like the chaturanga to up dog. And he goes, girl in brown, we don't do that here. Lower to the belly. And I was like, oh, that is interesting. But I'm like, is that a cultural thing? Is it, it was a very interesting thing. And that felt very called out to me, right? As like, I would be mortified personally if that would be like, like that, like it's her practice. She can do what she wants to do. And I saw her practice. She was fine. Like her chaturanga was nothing. It wasn't like one of those you're like, where you see it chaturanga. It was like, she knows what she's doing, clearly visiting also, right? Not from there. So it's that balance between not calling somebody out and just throwing out a gentle, like, hey, drop your hip, or oh, lower, grab a block. And that's also why, because you all did props already, right? So that's why it's important that we have everybody, if we're using props, everybody gets the props, so that when it is a moment where you're like, oh, someone could benefit from the prop, they already have it. So it's not like you're getting a block, throwing it across the room, like, Megan, sit on this, it's like, Megan, sit on the block, or, like, you're just like, Megan, have a seat, but you already have it, you're set up and ready. So I think it's all in kind of like how the presentation of it. Sorry, that was a very long answer, but.
No, absolutely. It sounds like there's a way.
Yeah.
And like, even if you might have said her name, it might have sounded a lot different.
Yeah, right. Or you could just say maybe he could have just said not chaturanga, like, don't do just chaturanga. I mean, like, you could say it to just the whole room and you don't need to narrowly point someone out, in my opinion. I don't know. I would never do that in class.
But for something safe, like if it's a safety
Yeah.
issue, you can gently say like,
Totally. Yeah.
thank you.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I feel like that's a personality thing too.
Oh yeah, there was
Like that guy's personality versus like Morgan's personality.
yeah. Oh
That lands very different.
yes. Yes. There couldn't be more opposite. Their personalities. Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Yes. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna partner up. And I want you all to practice those things. So practice the halfway lift. One of you be the student being like, do something weird and use your words to correct. So we'll do halfway lift, warrior 2, and lizard lunge. So we're going to be mirroring, pointing, demo. Okay, so using those as different tools, kind of how do we kind of help assist that way? Okay, so someone grab Eva. So this will be great because then you get to actually do it online to see. Well, don't grab her, but yeah. To kind of work through that of like, how would you do it online, right? If you were teaching online, so if you want that experience, this will be good to like do the online option. And then with one another in the room, okay? Good, so go. What do we have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so there'll be a group of 3. Let's go for it, give it a try, okay? Pause the recording. Yeah, I wanted to get to this before you had to go, Eva, so that you could get a little of this. Okay, friends, how did that go?
Thank you for asking.
How is it? How was it?
A little bit hard for me.
Yes, tell me more.
Just the words.
The words.
Blank all of a sudden and I forget one.
That happens, that's fair.
Look at me do this, my word in the past, because if I'd say, look at me and do this, then words, I don't really have to use words, but
Yeah, and it's practice. So know that using the mirroring and using your words as you do it, it's definitely practice, right? It's a practice sort of thing. But it is one of those, depending on the groups that you're teaching, like there are people you're going to have to demo more to, right? So like I teach a group that at CCL that it's, and I think you got to watch Austin. Yeah. So you got to see how totally different that is, right?
Everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's so interesting.
Mm-hmm. So depending on the groups that you're teaching, you will have to demo more, like if you're teaching brand new people and like it's a corporate setting, you don't know what anybody knows. And it's one of those things. So it just is easier to demo, right? Versus in a studio where usually people have some experience or there are some who know what's kind of going on in the room. Yeah, definitely the practice skill though, for sure. What else? How did it feel? Any ahas?
or other things?
Well, for teaching online, it's like you just do the best you can with the information you have.
Yeah.
It will never be perfect that you'll see their entire body probably
Mhm.
on that screen. So
Mhm.
it's like, okay, this is what I can see. I can hear things I can't see.
Yep.
like,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
that was-
Yeah, that's good. Cause like some people will have it set up really nice where you can see them, or you might only be able to see half of them, like that sort of thing. So, love it. And it's just one more tool you have in your toolkit as you're working with people. If they do opt out, or if they're just not getting it with your verbal cues, remember you can point, you can use your words, you can demo in your body if you need to for them. But this is also why the way that we have you all learn to teach is without demoing. Because, say you get hurt and the only way you've learned to teach was by demoing, then guess what? If you're injured, you break your arm, you can't teach a yoga class then because you don't know how to teach with just your words, So it's one of those things that once you start putting practical application into it, it's going to be a combo. It's going to be a little mix here and there of demoing, of mirroring, using your words, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Okay. Let's take a break. We're going to take a little break now. And then when we come back, we're going to dive into some hands-on work of actually getting hands-on with everybody. So when we come back, make sure you've washed your hands before you come back to the room. Because then we'll be touchy with each other. Okay. All right. Okay. Eva, enjoy the rest of your time. We'll see you later this week. Oh, also, I want to tell you guys, Thursday, I wrote it on here so I wouldn't forget. Thursday night, we're finishing an hour early. So we're finishing at 8 this week. Okay. So just so you all know that. So 6 to 8. So woohoo. Happy surprise. But we are till 9 on Tuesday. So just so you know. But Thursday, we're done at 8. Okay. Okay. All right. Good to see you. Have fun. Okay, friends, we're back. All right. We have a guest, Hannah. Okay, what we're gonna do next is a little activity. I learned from a Thai yoga massage therapist many years ago. She did a bunch of hands-on assisting workshops, and I just think this is a good tool because what do you think is the consistent feedback that most people get with adjusting?
It was great.
No, but like for real, the real feedback. What feedback are you getting from each other?
I always went too light.
Yeah, too late. That's often what happens. So we're gonna do an exercise to kind of practice pressure in a way to figure out like, okay, is my level of, am I giving the pressure that I think I'm supposed to be giving? Like, is it actually resonating? So how it goes, it's going to be in a scale from 0 being like, just like hands-on, like just literally putting your hand on someone, to 10, but you're never going to be a 10 where you would like push as hard as you can. You'd never go to a 10. I was like, please don't go to a 10. I mean, unless maybe it's like you're on a really big dude and he's like, I need more pressure, right? Like it could be something like that, but rarely would you ever go to 10. But we're going to work that scale and we're going to go through different parts of the body and talk about like, okay, here's a 3, here's a 5, here's a 6. Like, what would that look like? And we'll do partner work so you can actually be like, oh, does this actually match up? Are you getting close to the same number, or are you like, you're like, wow, I'm giving a 0.5 and you said 5, like to figure out like where we are in that to give a little clearer understanding. And so how we'll do it is it'll be your partner will start in Shavasana. So that's how it's going to look. I'm going to show you first what we're doing and then we'll go through it together. Okay. So so that for our friends at home, when they watch this later, can someone hold the camera so that they can see? Do you mind? Okay. Just kind of, I know I'm doing something. Okay. So how it's going to work. So a couple things to keep in mind. You keeping yourself safe again, right? And so breathing, kind of going through those tenets a little bit. So 1, hand rubbing, right? Like get your hands ready and warm. And so then for this one, I'm kneeling, but you could also be in a squatting position. Now, if you were doing this, you want to be mindful that you're not like this, right? You keep your spine nice and long and straight, okay? So what we'll do for this one is warm up. And I'm going to grab her wrists. I'm just going to give her a little pull because that's just nice. And it's a squeeze
and kind of a roll in. And this pressure is like around a 3 to 4. How would you say that in 3 to 4? Yeah. So this is what you'll do. You'll check in like 3 to 4. And they'll go yes or they'll go no. Right? They're gonna let you know. Then we're gonna move up to like the shin calf area. This is where you'll kind of come up a little bit. And again, you breathe in, so matching your breath. And then as you exhale, push down and out a little bit. And this is where we're leaning into like probably 5, 6 with pressure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Then coming up to knees, guess what pressure is here? We're like 0.5. I'm literally cupping. So it's just like hands here. There, my hands are resting, but that's about it. It's more of kind of an energetic sort of a hold here. Okay, just to kind of be supportive, but never pushing, especially on the joint, right? We want to be really mindful of that. Okay. Then we're moving up to then you'll have your partner say, show me your hip bone. So kind of point to your hip bone. Okay, so you'll see where they are. Then you're going to make like an L or J kind of shape here with your hands. And you're going to frame that. So thumbs are kind of pointing diagonally in, fingers are out, and you'll take a big breath in. And then you exhale, push down and out. So we're kind of rolling the hips out. This is like around a 6 to 7-ish. Sound all right? Feel all right? Yeah. Okay. So we're here for a couple of breaths. And then we'll release. We'll come out and we'll come around. And then come to shoulders. So we're here, placing hands onto shoulders, breathing in, pulling towards you, and then down and out. And this can be anywhere depending on the person, like a 3 to probably 6 or so. And I like to then kind of go side to side a little bit, working that pressure. Like this isn't for Shavasana, right? This is an assist you actually do Shavasana. And just because it's kind of nice, you can give a little pull. So the fingers go right into the occiput. So everybody feel these on yourself, those little indentations back here. That's you're kind of digging your fingers in and then lengthening. So your neck gets nice and long. So you use kind of your index finger and middle finger to lengthen. And then you can always, thumbs can do temples up to the hairline and down. You can do whatever, nice little nicety. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Are you excited to do that? Questions? Okay.
I have a question on the hip.
Yeah.
I feel like that's such a sensitive and a more private area.
Yeah.
Like, how do you make sure, because we're not massage therapists.
Right. Well, you're not doing this to your students. This is just to practice on each other, to practice like more intense stuff. Now, if someone like, if Hannah were in my class, like I would feel comfortable doing that to him, right? Like I would probably be comfortable doing it to one of you all because I know you're in teacher training, getting to know you, all of that. Now, if someone were new, I would never do something like that. But that's literally for like friends, right? People you know, peers that you're comfortable with. And it's literally just today. So you can experience like, oh, I can really put a lot of weight of like, what does that feel like to put some weight in? But this isn't like for your average class. Yeah, good. Okay. Okay, great. All right, Hannah, thank you. Yay. Okay, so now let's partner up. Thank you so much. Okay, grab a partner and let's give it a whirl. We're going to do this. I will walk you all through it. Well, I'll kind of guide you through it as we go. Partner up. Pick your partner. Oh, yeah. Okay. We know who is, have we established who's who? You have, you two have, okay. Okay, lie down. Whoever's lying down, now, do it. Okay, so I'm gonna guide, I'll walk you all through it, okay? So, yes, you don't have to remember, I'm gonna walk you through. No, I'm gonna walk you through it. I'll guide you through it. Well, I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna be telling you, yeah. So your choice, whatever you want to, but you can call me over if you have questions, don't worry. Okay, so set yourself up at their feet. So whether you're kneeling, squatting, it's up to you. Yeah, rub your hands. Everybody take some deep breaths. Good, nice. And then grab hold, now take hold of their ankles. Okay, and then give it a pull towards you. So really use that feel. You'll see their legs move, a pull. Start to press down and then do an internal rotation. So drive it in a little bit. So think of the shins kind of spiraling over, but you're holding at the ankles. Yeah. And we're looking at about a 3 with pressure. Okay. Are you breathing? Is everybody breathing? Remember to breathe. Thank you. Yeah, breathe. Good. Nice. Okay, now let them know. Was that a 3? Do they need to give you more or less pressure?
That was like
Okay, now let's move to the shins. So come forward. Remember, keep your spine nice and long. Brace your core, hands onto the shins. Find that placement, holding here, and then an internal rotation and push down. So you're gonna lean into it. You'll really lean, breathe. So as you press, you exhale. So we're going towards like a 5, 6 with pressure. Now you don't start at that, you build up to it with your breath. So you're kind of easing into it, feeling their body of like, are they receiving it or do they start to kind of clench up a little bit, like finding that balance. Good, breathe, relax. Good, now let it go. Okay, how was it? Let them know. Was that enough, more? Good.
Go on a little bit further.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you are gonna for sure. Okay. Yep. Okay, now let's move to these. So these are the funny. I think so, yeah, but I'm not gonna do
Right.
Okay, now knees, so a nice little like cupping of the knees, nice and gentle. So this is like a 0 to 0.5, just like a very light holding support on the knees there. Breathe. Just breathe. This is where it's more energetic. Nice and relaxing, both of you breathing. Good. Great. Nice. Okay, how was that? Does that feel good? Okay. All right, now hips. So we're going to the hips. So have point out your hip bones. Show them where your hip bones are, and then you cup them with the L or J. So your that little you're gonna frame the hip bone with your hands. Okay. Yep. Keep your spine nice and long. Good. Take a big breath in. Then exhale, push down and roll out. So it's a little down and external rotation there. So now to stand up a little bit more. So you can really lean in. Yeah. Go more right here. And this is where we're going towards probably like 6, 7. Really giving some nice pressure. Good. Your postures look good, everybody. Breathe. Good. Nice. And then release. Let them know. How is that pressure? More or less?
Second part.
Just.
No, that one. I have like really, I feel like people have tight hips now. So I need to like. It's like, oh, what do you think? How big?
You have like a little mini release.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go around the shoulders. Around.
I was literally like.
Yeah, right. You did. No, you didn't. You had good posture. You were nice, like long. I was good. Okay, now set yourself up at the shoulders, give yourself a nice rub the hands so they know that you're there. So coming around, good. Now, this is where we place our hands, like right like collarbone area. So getting that placement, so you push kind of down and out a little bit. So you're kind of feeling like you're spreading the muscles across the collarbone and pecs area, letting that kind of open. And this is where you can go anywhere from like, probably like a 3 to 7 on pressure. And this is where, and now you can kind of like a kitty cat, rock side to side a little bit. You're making some biscuits, nice little shavasana biscuits. And breathe. Remember, you breathe and watch them breathe. When they exhale, as we really go in for that pressure. Good. Now, while they're there, give them if they need to give you more pressure, do a thumb up.
That's good.
You want more pressure, do a thumb up. That was not, leave it steady. Okay, good. And so that you can feel.
I do that, I'm like.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now from here, let's do the occipits, the head here, with your fingers here, right here, and those little divots, and give it some length. So breathe in, and then as you exhale, you pull and give it some nice length. You're lifting up and away. So lengthen that out. Yeah. Breathe. Good. And then if you want, you can do a little shavasana or anything else. You want temples. Through the hairline, any of that that you like to do. Good. Breathe, friend. Good. Okay, now give a little feedback to somehow in general. I think you all were giving feedback. Feedback.
I think that I learned that I need to just go a little bit. I wrote the numbers down, but like, I just get nervous about it.
I know.
You do realize, like, odds are, I'm not gonna. My pressing hard, especially when something's not similar size, it's not. Yeah, it's not gonna break down.
Yeah.
Like, nobody in here is gonna get broken if I like. Exactly. I think it does make me nervous with like public classes, but.
The more you practice, the more you get your hands on different people, you'll be like, oh yeah, this person, wow, they're like, some people would be like, wow, they really received this. And some people would be like, aren't they moving, right? And then some people are like, oh, I just feel like a frame. I need to be more gentle. You know? So, but it's practice. That's relaxing. Hey guys, how did that go? What are your takeaways? So those of you who assisted, what are your takeaways? You know, will you give your takeaways? You had it.
Yeah, just, I'm not gonna break anybody.
Yeah.
Like I can go, that was, when I did the shin assist, that was like the hardest I think I've ever pushed on anyone ever, and Jordan was still like, you can go a little bit harder. So I just need to like, not be so nervous.
Yeah. What else? What else did you know? Those of you who were giving. Yes.
Question about like thumb placement on
Yeah.
the shin one, because I've done it a couple times now where I feel like I'm gonna pinch the person here, because you like rotate in there.
Yeah, so it's kind of a, so right here.
Oh, are you pushing
And
like?
then out, inside of here. Out.
Yeah.
I was trying to place that.
I guess it's like Barbie setting. I did.
I think that we don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, and I don't have that. Okay.
It's not bad, it's
You know?
Okay.
Because if not, then you'll.
What happens when you show them it's hard. We left Arizona Friday.
Okay, see you later.
Yeah. Okay, any other takeaways? Anything else?
It's easier for me if I like know the person. It's just so hard to know like if somebody you haven't spoken to before.
Yeah.
Kind of like where they're at, and, like what issues they have or where they feel pain. So I felt really comfortable with Meadow, and she was wanting to like, you know,
what I could do and
Yeah.
more pressure, less pressure, so that helped me a lot with being able to talk with her.
Yeah, and this is where it's like building a rapport with your students is gonna be important. And the more you practice, y'all, I promise, it just gets easier. The more you just get your hands on different bodies and are working with, and you're like, oh, okay, yes, oh, all right, this person, like, I can give them more, or this person, I need to be more gentle. Like, you'll start to figure it out, but it's one of those that you just have to start to practice, yeah. And being in dialogue, that's why I have you on your backs, so you can actually make eye contact to be like, give me more, because if we started and did this in child's pose, everybody's heads are down, you're like, yeah, you're right, or, you know, like, you want to they'll see them, right? Like, you're like, oh, no, more, or here, you know, to kind of help each other out. Okay, awesome, all right, let's switch. And I'll get the shins right this time. All right, so pick your, now I'm gonna be. Pick your stance, whether you're squatting or kneeling, whatever you're more comfortable with. Rubbing your hands, remember breathing. So watch their breath too. That's the other thing is when they're on their back, you can actually see them breathing. You can see the chest and belly rising and falling. Yep, so rub your hand. Good. Great, and now let's reach for the ankles. Good, give them a nice little pull. Good, and then internal rotation, so spiral in at the ankle, so we're going in a little bit. So it's kind of a down and pull at about a 3, right? This is like a 3-ish that we're looking at, 3 to 4. Okay, good, nice, okay, give them some feedback, was that 3 to 4, is that good?
That was good.
Good.
Yeah, like I felt my legs like, it feel like a one bit lengthened, but it didn't feel like the legs were crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, so it sounds like it really was, but it-
Okay.
That is- Yeah, and the rotation was good. Yeah, very, because that's that felt like awkward.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to shins now. We'll do it right this time.
I feel like it would be easier to.
So we're looking at,
Smooth legs
so
to like.
down and then external rotation. This is where 6 to 7, so you're gonna need to lean into it. Good lean, good, posture looks good for everybody. Remember to breathe. So Jordan, you're gonna wanna lean forward, yeah, good. Know that you're building up to that 6 or 7. Good,
So, yeah.
breathe. Thanks, everyone. Good, nice release, give them some feedback.
I feel like that was a 6, like a 6-ish. The one I would say is maybe like. Cause I think up here you're getting into the calves a little bit, it's gonna be like, at least for me, I don't think it's just my body, but like that can be like a little bit more of a tense area, so.
Right, so like down here.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's come on up. So hip bones, point out your hip
Yeah,
I
bones.
think that would help.
Forward.
Because.
Oh,
At
knee,
least
sorry.
we've got that. For me, like, tap.
Knee, sorry. knee.
Yeah, so like,
There,
like it feels good, but it's also.
There we go, like a 0.5-ish, right? Just a nice supportive, energetic hold. Breathe. You breathe, match your breath with their breath as best you can. Nice, good. Okay, then release. Hopefully good, right?
That was
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, hip bones, make your little arche. Good, taking a big breath in. And an exhale, push down and out, a little external rotation. Keep your spine long. So think halfway lift in your torso. Those of you assisting, really stick your butt back, chest forward, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good, breathe. And this is where pressure can get up to maybe a 7. So you really push down and out. Don't be afraid to lean in. You're not gonna break their pelvis, I promise. Breathe.
The retention is good though.
Good, thanks, great, they give them some feedback, please, good. Everyone relax, yeah.
It's way harder than you think.
Yeah, I know.
Like, oh. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. And the rotation you feel.
Okay.
I feel like your hands. Yeah.
Okay, now up to shoulders, friends. Rub the hand. Okay, then work that hand placement. Okay, so we're looking at collarbones, kind of back area a little bit, breathe in. Then as you exhale, push down and out a little bit. So pressing through the heel of the hand, and this is where you can kitty biscuit it a little side to side, build up some pressure as you're doing this. This could be up to a 7, just depending on their body. If they're like, ooh, they can really release and receive it. So lean forward a little bit more, y'all. I feel like you're kind of a little too far back. You want to really get in there, give them some good pressure. Good, breathe. If they could give you more pressure, give a thumbs up. If you want more, do a thumbs up. Okay, good. Okay, great, nice. Now we'll do occipits. Let's do fingers.
Good.
Those little.
I don't know.
Yeah, get the hair out of the way. And then give it that pull, so it's a kind of lift and pull
Yeah.
towards you. Yeah.
Like show me, cause I struggle with this one.
Yeah.
Why? I have like a really.
Yeah, so it's kind of here, down and out.
Oh, okay. Well, we did have a question about that one. I had a question about the neck one too.
Oh, the neck one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it's coming here, so right here. Right there. Just kind of hold it a bit.
Okay, for sure. I don't know why I was struggling with that
I mean,
yesterday.
it's all right. It's all new, right? Yeah. And then do any other little hair play, whatever you. Just kidding, maybe not hair play with your, unless it's your friend. Okay. Great. I'm gonna give them a little feedback, just give them some feedback in general.
Yeah.
You're right there, so. Yeah. And that was good pressure too, like, it actually like made it.
Yeah.
Cause my neck.
Yeah, I agree. Right. The more intentional is in my. I know, I was saying, literally like, all right. I have those same thoughts.
I don't think anybody's thinking that.
No, there's definitely.
Well, I'm curious, what?
My anxiety frog is telling me that I'm being a weirdo every time I can just.
Oh, I think everybody feels like that, especially at first. Yeah, that's normal. You just say, thank you. Y'all cancel, get on it. Yep. Okay, everybody, let's come on back. How was that now, those of you giving? How'd that go?
Good.
Better? Feel good?
Definitely feel more confident.
Yes.
So that I can a little bit more pressure,
Mm-hmm.
so.
You can give more pressure. I hope that's a good takeaway, that you can give more pressure than you thought.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What else? Any other takeaways? What else did you notice?
Like the shin, we were both saying like receiving on the shin, because it's like, oh, you can give more pressure here, but it didn't feel good to either of us. So that was just like a takeaway. And I think it was because we were like right on the bone, even if we were doing like the rotation. So
good info.
Yeah,
I had
right?
the same with that. And what I found with Jordan, I told him just like go down a little bit more rather than like up more on like closer to my ankles and my,
Yeah, that could
Nice.
be the placement, could
Yeah.
be the placement, yeah. Mhm.
for me and my body, that felt way better. So.
Yeah. And see, this is why you all, like, you have a collective of people, your Sangha here to like, when you start teaching, if you are like going to teach, if you're like, yes, this is where it's important to be like, hey, how is this going with this? This feels weird. Like tap into each other, like to be like, wait, I need some help with this assist. Like this feels weird, right? You get that feedback. So you're not alone just trying to figure this out all on your own, because otherwise, like, you lean on your community is what I'm really trying to like convey to you all, that you've got each other, even especially when then you start putting this all into practice and start teaching, right? Or you have us too, of course, you can reach out, but you probably already have a text chain, yes? So you'd be like, okay, great. So you can be like, help, how do I do this and this? Or what, like have those conversations to really help you through it. Yeah. Anything else? Any other takeaways?
But give me a really good feedback where I was like using the pressure in my fingertips. And she's like, try using the palms of your hand and putting the pressure there.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's like helping.
Okay, great, good. Nice, good. Now, are you always going to be doing like pressurized assist in class? No, of course not. But this is one to help you kind of know, like Jordan was saying, trust you can give a little bit more pressure when it is time to give pressure. And I hope it just builds your confidence a little bit, kind of working this, just getting your hands on somebody and just kind of from the feet up to kind of be like, oh, okay, here, this different parts of the body can take pressure a little bit differently, and just to learn something a little bit different. So what we'll do now, I was thinking that this half pigeon would be a good one to kind of put what you just did into play. So does somebody want to come into half pigeon here for me, and I can show you? See now, yeah, now you're all like, yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, are you supported enough with your foot on the ground? Yes. Okay. Great. Just to make sure. So I know you all do that little calf thing one, but I'm going to give you a different one. Okay. So is that where, do you go down or do you want to stay there?
I go down.
Yeah, you can go down. Okay. So this is often where people are going to be, right, in class and coming around to me. Okay. So again, because her head's down, she can't see me, right? So I want to come in so that she knows, okay, somebody's here because I'm coming behind her, right? So you grab hold of hips, and you can come up if you need to stand up. If you can't quite see me, you can come up behind me. So it's a kind of a lift and drop back. And this is where I'm pressing down, but this is probably like a 3 to 4. Would you say? Is that about 3 to 4 for you? Yeah. And then, so we're here. So this might be it. You might do this and then place a hand on the sacrum, then another hand to lengthen forward, and then draw back. Okay. And this is probably like a 2 to 3, right? It's more kind of supportive just to create a little bit of length, but I pull back this way because if I were to just go this way, it kind of smushes the nose a little, doesn't it? Does it kind of smush your nose?
My hands, my forehead's in my hands, so.
In case they're not, they'll be like, whack. So you want to like slow it back. Let's look at them. Now, so that's one option. You can kind of play so it's hips here, here, and here, right? And then I'll pull back and then switch legs for me so I'll do it a little bit different on the other side. The other option, if you want to, you can work this front leg that's bent. And always like, right, check, because oftentimes with people, you gotta go like tweak that, fix that foot a little bit. But then we come in, so that same sort of, just to kind of create that awareness, that like steadiness, and you're not pushing down. This is where you want to not push too hard because it can hurt the knee if you push too much here. So we're here. So then I keep a hand right here on this hip. This other hand is going to come to this leg. So it's going to come to this side. You're breathing in. And then as you exhale, I kind of roll out some external rotation. Okay. And then you can you sort of maintain that pressure a little bit, and you just work it all the way down towards the knee. So I'm helping that external rotation. Okay. And then once that's done, then again, you work the finding the length and then the draw back. How do we feel about that?
Wait, can you show us the first one more time? That one's just like rotating down
Yeah,
and
so
back.
first one is, so we're rotating kind of, I'm pulling and rotating out. Okay, and then a hand on sacrum. It's kind of a slide out and then a draw back. Okay,
What if the person was here?
if they were here, then I might come in here and just do something maybe like this. Okay, and just stay with that. And then you could also do like this, right? Just kind of a relax this down. You could do that same occiput thing if they were staying up, like you did in Shavasana, fingers in, create that nice lift. Okay, shall we give it a try? All right, let's give it, new partner, new body, new person, so like switch it up, find a new person.
I'm just making my
You make it
around the room.
Yeah, go around. Yes.
My knee.
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder if there's like maybe a configure for some other way that we can practice still.
Yeah.
Okay, you do this side or-
Do one side, and then we'll play with the other side. Okay, how's that sound? Okay. You're gonna get to everybody today. I want you all to get that practice.
That's great. Okay.
And then I'll show you on the other side. So come on in, give it a try. So see if you remember, and if you got questions, call me over and I'll. So it's a root down and out a little bit. Okay, so you can-
in this stance?
Yep, that's a great stance. Yep.
And it's back and out, right?
Mhm. Yep, so you kind of grab both of the hips a little bit. Yep. And then down and out. Yeah. And breathe. So remember, try to breathe with them.
Yeah, that's actually good pressure.
This is where you could give, if you want more pressure, you can give a thumbs up if you need to, or. Yeah, and then do the hand on the sacrum. You can work that, and then you can either work the thigh, so you start kind of in, so start getting closer here. So it's a down, yeah, and you're really using your thumb and fingers to go out, and then work it a little bit. No.
Okay.
Just kind of work your way up towards the knee.
How was that?
It's good, good pressure for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, you need strong.
Yes, I'm not
Just.
okay with this.
And do you wanna look over your left shoulder so you're?
Yeah.
Look over your right shoulder.
I usually do both.
What do we think?
Regardless.
Get some feedback. And then you can do the other side, ease them out. Oh, I'm not gonna, that's me.
I had that a couple times for running low on time.
Yeah. We're not gonna, I'm not gonna do that. One time today. I got it right now, breathing, right? Really expand the hands, make your presence known.
I think I forgot to do that.
Good all the way around. Yeah.
Well, this is where you might notice one side gets more or less pressure than the other.
So I was like, okay, let's put
Yeah.
this is
Huh?
rotate.
Yeah.
So late.
Lower back. It's like you're actually on parts. It's like hard, like the bend. You don't want to like. It's like oh, and I felt like the second side was a little tight.
Sorry, I'm just. Yeah.
That's so interesting, so different.
Okay, what do we take away from that? What are some takeaways? Before we switch.
I'm gonna do my summary.
Have awareness of what you did on one side to the other side. Yeah.
Did you guys like the going
Back
up
and forth there.
the butt leg? Did that feel good? Do you see how that? Do you see how the line, just the line down, how that translates to this? It's like, oh, okay, like the pressure, like you can give them more pressure than you think about it a little bit. Kind of feel it in their bodies. And they're like, oh yeah, they're receiving it. Or like, oh no, I should go lighter. Because right, every hip is different, right? The hips aren't the thing. So there might be one side you're like, oh, you can just sense like maybe I don't push as hard on this side. Or maybe this side is the one I can press a little bit more. Will you go to your side that we need to adapt? Yeah. Okay, will you come up here? So I'm gonna show it. So Beck's got a knee thing on one side, so she's gonna do figure 4, reclined. Let's do heavy reclined. Okay. So with this one, so you can do, great, yeah, that's great. So you can flex your feet, please. So a couple things you can do with this one. One could be here where you just stand and help kind of guide this knee out. So I'm kind of here supporting this one, and this right knee is I'm pulling it towards me. Is that okay? So you have, you'll be like, hey, right? But you can just like breathe, and you can sort of look to the side. You don't have to be like intense eye contact unless you want to. But just staying with that for a couple of breaths. So that's one option. So this hand is kind of supporting this. So then you can work this hip opening. Or you can, if you're like, I don't know, that's freaking me out, I don't want to do that. You can simply come here and do this, work the shoulders a little bit. And then you could always be like, oh, and then press out. Like you could do a little gentle press away for that same sort of shoulder press. And see how you see her just kind of like, oh, right? That's nice, right? Yeah. Okay, great, good. So that you can always throw into the mix also. Okay. All right. Give it a try. Do each side.
Okay.
I love that. Breathe. And keep protecting your spine, those of you adjusting. Okay, switch sides.
Did you feel my hips just go?
Gotta be holding on the leg, that'll put pressure on.
Yeah. At first, that like on this side, it felt good. Like you did good on this one. The first time, I thought if I took the pressure, like I guess it was like. And I think that's really like one for I don't want French to be put in my.
Yeah.
Let's get that started.
Good question.
No, and like the like on this one.
So I really just think she's like, it feels good. I don't want
I love these adjustments.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
And that's why I have
Because if I'm in it on my own, this is where I'm at.
Mhm.
Stretch.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so for you, this is how I would go. So I'm creating lane. And so I'm not, like, I can, knowing I can.
That's what you do.
More. Is that okay?
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Okay, so I was doing, yeah, and I was doing. Yeah. So just like here.
Uh-huh.
I'm like down.
Down and out.
And I realized that I was. She said not to, she said.
Yeah, I mean, because you can see how she receives it, right? Like she's really, and like some people when they're tighter, they're not gonna be as comfortable.
That was great too. But
So I'm just like her factor this.
Yeah.
And you'll,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like what you pushing.
But I don't know if you could tell, like,
We'll talk about it on each side, like.
Thinking I could break it. Yeah.
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 But I mean, compared to both sides.
I got it. I want down here.
And you said you had a wedding yesterday. They really gave you a really
Hey, everybody.
That was good, but like growing up.
Come back. All right, how'd that go? Good, good, good. Okay. Learning things. Are we learning things?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Are we waking up? a little bit more? Okay, so they had a really good question about, like, if someone is really bendy of like the intensity level, right? So you will feel that in someone's body. If someone is more open, you can kind of lean and get pressure, but you know, we're not just like always going to the edge with things. So now I'm gonna, since you were kind of able to put more, like your hand is more bendy, so you can really put. So what we're gonna do, do you mind reading down dog? Do you mind putting it down dog? Okay. I don't know. If you
My
guys
sweatshirt also, you can see it.
because this is where we want to be really mindful of people who are more hypermobile, and these people are going to be in class. Not everyone's going to be tight. You're going to have a good combo. So you might need your socks off.
Okay, hold on a second.
Slippy slidey. Hopefully that's okay. We can put you on a mat. Like just, we're just on the floor.
Okay, let's see here. I might need a camera person. Can I have a camera person? Thank you. Can I hold it like sitting down?
Yeah.
That was a little easier. Okay.
Okay, so lovely, right? You're like, okay, this is where sometimes I think people feel like, well, what do I do? Right? Well, what do I do? There's nothing to fix. And remember, it's not always about fixing, right? We're creating, when we think about the energetics, right? We're thinking of lines of energy. She's pushing down in her arms. They're going that way. So one assist could simply be, right, to simply press here, right, to help them ground. But we're creating that lift up and away. So see how what just happened to her shoulders? She kind of started to collapse. So this is where I don't like this assist, this one. Because see what that does to someone who's real bendy? So instead, I do, just like you did in that half pigeon, we go this way. We pull, because the spine is lengthening this way anyway. So if you happen to do this, you're like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to. Just course correct and come back this way to create some length, right? So we're creating this length here. Okay, there's that external sliding, slippy slidey, right? Then from here, right? So you've got that kind of lift up and away, and you can always simply just
slide. Like her heels go down, and even if they don't, just feeling that stretch down the calves and Achilles, just thinking energetically, we're coming down this way. Okay, perfect, great. Thank you. Questions, comments, thoughts about that? Yes.
Not like, I don't know the right word, appropriate or safe to like touch the elbows if they fit in like that. You wanna do the thumb thing?
Oh, we can, yeah, sure. Do you want to do my phone back?
I'm just like,
Yeah. Do
sweaty
you need a
hands.
mat?
No, 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 I'm just a sweaty girl
It's
sometimes.
okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, so if you could say, you could do this, just a little bit of bend, say bend the elbows a little bit, and I'm literally 0.5. Yeah, just a little kind of, I'm direction, my thumb is like telling her to kind of bend out a little bit, yeah. And then you can do that to lengthen a little bit more. Yeah. Good, thanks.
Very good. Okay.
Let's give it a try. Let's new partner. So you're gonna give to everybody multiple thank you. Exactly, didn't know you were a camera.
I know, right?
Camera crew now.
Like people didn't even have to be.
Yeah, we are.
First.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you're kind of like me. Yeah. I get force. That's right.
Jordan, take your hands a little wider
Yeah.
and turn your hands out a little bit. Out more, so your index fingers are at like.
My index finger is way.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, you could go, yeah, pinky fingers to the edge of the mat, yeah.
Okay,
Hey Laura, is it okay to be on this side? or should
correct
we
it like
be
that.
front?
My wrist is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please don't put it on. Sounds good. I need to hear.
Depending on which one
That should do it. If I'm doing the back.
from the side, yeah, you want to do from the side, okay. How did that feel?
Does that feel okay?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. You're not like minimizing it. Like that. It's still like grounding for you to do it. I think where you, the placement of where you did it was good.
Yeah, it was very fun, yeah.
Not like, I'll do it like this for, so you can.
What's that? Yeah, like, because when you do up, I just want to go. That's good.
Yeah, I did.
It feels a little stronger on one hand.
There you go.
There you go.
Was at first I did this, and then I went like this.
At least you don't have a curve. Does the pressure similar on the seat? Okay.
Yeah, I'm having to. I got one.
Yeah.
So we go down. Yeah, I would just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt better.
Like if you just kind of like when you do it.
Oh, yeah.
People like have to follow.
I was very like when I did that one.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
But I like the yellow one. Yeah, because it's also back. Like one into the side. Do you mind?
Like that one. Yeah. Feel great. I don't think that was anything. It's not used to be like that. They used to have very.
Yeah, I'll say that's all of ours.
Yeah.
Like the, or the other lower, maybe higher. Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to do that. Okay. I was like, good. And then I think you're supposed to go below it. Yeah. There you go. It's like that. Oh, that's great for me. That's, yeah. Yeah. So I like that. One like, you know, I'm my first where I dumped into my. So then.
Yeah.
That's good.
I come down here and I'd adjust it.
Sure.
You know?
You come into the ribs.
So for both.
Oh, yeah.
Really good. I like that. Like, it makes you look like when you had experience, like, so that one, help me say more energetic.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, you're telling me. I like it. That's one you just hold with you.
Yeah.
It's great. And I'm like, and I. This guy's
Yeah.
I picture really like that. But I didn't realize it. And now I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, my goodness. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Alright. And not just like soaking it in line. My brother up like we didn't know.
Like after you
I feel like you know my mom so well.
Yay!
during the week.
Can we,
Can you do it so I can show it to you?
Definitely. Yeah. That. Do you work?
Yeah,
That way or?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Either one. Do either like whichever you prefer.
Partner of that.
Someone had it, because let's do plank real fast. We're gonna do plank and then gorilla, because they kind of blend hand in hand here. What was the question with plank?
Oh, I have that. It's like when you say like press into my feet, I feel like I don't quite understand what the intention behind it is.
Okay, I think, if you want to come over here.
Oh, I'd love to do a plank.
No, yeah, wait. On or off the blanket?
I'll do it off
Thank
the
you.
blanket. I got it, don't worry.
So with plank, so what I would do if we're in it, one thing I would say is bend your elbow a little. There we go, good. And so, yep, and then I kind of just help raise here a little bit, and then it's now push into me, lengthen through the crown of your head. So this is just keeping everything engaged. So really push, push, push. Yes. You feel how that makes your legs and core fire? Yeah. Yes, that's it. There you go.
But can it like unintentionally maybe impact someone's hip alignment, like going up or down? And then would you just like fix that?
Well, it would probably help because
Okay.
often when people are, because they're not engaging, so then their hips are sagging.
Okay.
So it wouldn't, I usually do that hands on the feet for someone who I know is strong in their practice because it's an extra challenge.
Okay.
For someone whose hips are kind of sagging, so come into plank and just kind of drop your hips a little bit, how you'll often see. Yeah, so for that, I would do this and be like, come up, lift up. Good, now squeeze your legs, push your heel back, lengthen out through the crown of your head. I would work that.
Okay.
And I save the heels for someone who like I know has a regular practice and I'm just all push, because then I'm making them work.
Okay, thank you.
So that would be my, the difference of why. Okay, so just clock that one. Let's do gorilla and the forward fold, because I think I heard some of you talking about with down dog, you're like, oh yeah, I want to go this way. But you want to go this way, I think, is because of gorilla and Uttanasana, right? So will someone come into it? 'Cause I want to show you a couple who will be my forward fold person. Okay, great.
Just a regular forward fold.
Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna do a couple things with it. So turn to, yeah, so camera, nope. This way. Okay, so forward fold. So things to keep in mind. One, just to recap, yeah, come around me if you need to. So hand on sacrum, exhale, fold, and then inhale, halfway lift. So this is where we pull back, just like that down dog. Same thing, down dog, same thing, half pigeon, right? That same, we're pulling this way, then exhale, forward fold. We're here, right? We're creating that and we're here in that fold. So I think that is where the confusion comes. It's like down dog, right? They're there, but when it's full, that's okay to be here with it. But sometimes I'll even pull back a little. So now let's go to gorilla from here. Okay. That's too wide. Bring
Too
it
wide.
closer. Only about 2 fist width. There we go. Yeah, good. So big breath in. I let them start to come into it and then exhale, fold. Okay. And then I step into the space. So breathe in, exhale, fold and pull. So I'm kind of pacing. I'm breathing in, he's breathing in, exhale, fold, and I'm working down with his exhale. And so you may come back up again and kind of work that from here, right? This could be, but this hand is stable. So see, I can move him around, right? So this is a strong, so this would say, I would say this hand is probably at like a 5 of pressure kind of down and stabilizing. And then you kind of build that intensity as you kind of work your way down. Okay, great. Thanks, Jordan. Now, questions about gorilla. Was that what you had?
We've been doing the one where you put a hand like under their hamstrings, and that's the part that I was confused.
Okay,
What you
so
did
I
this time.
wouldn't do that to Jordan because he's tighter in the hamstrings. I would do that potentially. Do you want to come into it? So that one depends. Like, I think for Jordan, the best support for him is that assist. Does that feel okay for you?
Yeah, and grow, I don't really like grow all that much.
Probably not.
I'm really tight
Yeah.
here, so
Mhm.
it's kind of strenuous.
Yes. So, okay, we're gonna come back to that. Okay, so you come into it. Just come into gorilla, yeah. So you can work this one where we're here, right? Where we're working this, right? And that's fine. If this feels more comfortable to just work this, do this. I think this is a more advanced assist, honestly, coming in this way. But it is you kind of bring your hand back here. So forearm is against the hamstring. Another hand here, you breathe in. And then exhale, I tilt. So this hand is kind of lifting up while this hand is coming down. So it's like, whoop, like this. This sort of action.
So you're more focusing on like tilting their
Pelvis.
pelvis.
Yep, that it's all about tilting the pelvis. So this is creating that lift and this is drawing the energy down. Yeah. I see. Okay. So Jordan, come back over here. So with that, and that's all about tilting the pelvis. So that's someone who's a little more bendy where you can do that. So for you, you'll come back into it. So this is where you could really spend more time here. Sorry, I'm gonna move this a little bit. So it's the tilt, really using your thumbs to get in there and create that pelvic tilt. And my fingers are in his hip creases to really encourage that opening, because the forward fold, it's here, right? It's here in the pelvis that we're looking at. It's less about how far down he goes. It's us creating more space here. See, I'm like, we've got a red mark here for my thumb, right? Like I'm pushing, right, to really get in there. How'd that feel for you?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely got some movement on me.
Yeah, right. And that translates. You're like, hey, I'll take it. And that also translates to Paschimottanasana, that same thing. So like, I would adjust you. So here, why don't you both come? Do you guys mind coming down? Side by side, seated forward fold. So like you're in class, pretend like we're just in class. And I'm gonna adjust you both. So come into your forward fold. And this is great, because this is what you're gonna see. You're gonna see the variety in people. So I would come to Jordan, do this, right? So you can hear me. But I'd really focus on this. Really focus on that tilt. You see he moved, right? There was some movement, right? And then here, and then just a little bit, just a nice, this is like a 2, maybe, just kind of gentle.
And I do kind of pull back just a little, okay? Then for here, I maybe get more into digging in. Let's tilt, and I'm really gonna root down to really find that rooted downness because she can tilt so much already. And then I'm gonna do more pressure, see? And I'm like, it's not just a down, it's a down and kind of up. I'm kind of, the trajectory is sort of at this angle of sorts with it. Okay, breathe. And kind of back a little bit into, you can always come back again, see how she can, there's still room, but I'm definitely more pressure. Well, there is intensity on the pelvic tilt, but definitely you can do more downward. When someone can be more bendy like that, you can put a little bit more downward, but you're thinking about energetically where we're going with it. Yeah?
What
Question?
number would you say when you were pressing down on Hannah's hips? How hard would you say you were pressing?
Yeah, 4
Out of 5 or out of 10?
out of 10.
Okay.
4 to 5. Yeah, I would say.
Gotcha.
And I was getting probably closer to 6 for you
Yeah,
to really
felt a
tilt
little
that
hard.
pelvis to really get in there.
Yes.
But she was also like moving with me. I
Mhm.
feel like.
Yeah.
Like it changed, it was variable.
Because this is where you start to
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to practice? Anyone else have tighter hamstrings?
I have.
Okay, great.
Bring it back.
Who else is more bendy? So Megan is bendy. So let's do, because I want you guys to feel this, to see the difference. How about, is that okay? If we do, you guys don't care, right? To play around with that, it's just like experimenting on. So let's do it where it's a partner, a bendy partner, and a little bit tighter, so you can see and feel the difference between that. Okay, let's do that. All right, so let's grab some partners. So here, bendy people, come to this side. It's gonna be like the sharks in the jet.
Okay, so now a bendy, pick a tight person, so partner up now, bendy and tight people partner up.
I know, right?
Together. So pick a partner. And then okay, but now, okay, so I'm trying to figure out this math here to make this work. Okay, so now you guys get to adjust these two pairs. And then, oh, so see what I mean? So you're gonna both come into forward folds. And then you're gonna be with them, you'll be with them. And then you two adjust each other. And then we'll kind of go from there. We'll kind of swap as we go. Okay? Does that make sense? We're gonna figure this out so that you get to work with both. With both. Okay, so we'll start this way.
Notice the difference.
This is new. This is us being adaptive in our teaching. We're like, wait, okay, so you can feel different bodies. You just experiment.
I'm sorry.
Jordan's like, I'm not doing it until you get to me.
He's so mad already. Like,
Did I did,
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
Just watching that,
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are crazy. You're able to do that.
Yeah, and then you can definitely watch if you're the one not receiving, you can be like, oh,
I'm in the right place.
Yeah, that's actually really good pressure too.
Okay. You see how far you're pushing me? That's great.
Yeah, you're-
It doesn't hurt. No, that's like a lot of pressure.
yeah, it's amazing, right? How much it can really get in there. Remember to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's perfect pressure.
Nice, guys.
My food is like in 8 or something.
Yeah.
Really? That's wonderful. Okay. And I really have to push harder than I think I did. Yeah, I think the hips and trying to take a lot. Good, I told you.
Yeah.
For sure, more first.
We'll do it first. Then I come back.
Yeah, no, but it was, it's like, I'm not gonna move unless I'm really.
Swap out.
Yeah.
Swap out.
Alright.
And then our next rotation, I'm gonna have you guys kind of, we're gonna mix this up somehow.
Yeah, I can make it like that.
Yeah.
You can make it.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to go left side?
That's not understanding. Yeah.
You're like the bendy one.
You're all, how do I do this? I'm still not good.
Right.
Yeah.
Was that pressure okay though?
Yeah. Really make sure you support their sacrum, especially when you're extending them out.
Yeah, right at the end, there's more and then.
Alright. Pressure. Yeah. Cool.
I just fold like a pancake, so.
Very jealous. What you are.
Maybe not. I think what happens is once I get to
Alright.
So Megan, and just, you know, for you bendies,
No.
when you practice,
So I
do
always.
you do the blocks? Okay, good.
I can give you. You can even press hard.
A little more, okay.
In the morning. Okay, so you ready?
Right. Got you.
Sacrum to sacrum.
Breathe in. Yeah, I know.
So this is what you can do for the real bendos. You get a fish. and make it- But it's sacrum to
A
sacrum.
little bit more.
Oh, yeah. That felt so good.
Yeah.
I felt like
Perfect.
Yeah, I just gotta get comfortable with giving that extra pressure. and especially- I feel like I'm working a lot of pain, so I'm like, I wanna be very, I don't want to touch anything. I'm like, oh yeah, if somebody touches me, I don't know. Somebody else.
Yeah, because like. Pressure with me and help me to reach.
Sure, thank you.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
That is not good.
Yeah, right, you can really.
Yeah.
How's that?
That's good.
So good.
It's so good.
So good. I'm really.
Yeah.
That feels amazing. That feels so good. I'm glad that you. That was so serious. I felt like I was squishing.
And one moment.
Yeah.
I think so. Is it too much or too light?
This is good pressure. I would just say now, just rotate, like to rotate it. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. I feel like I'm pressing really hard.
Well, you're definitely doing more thumb, because the thumb is what tilts the pelvis. So if you look from the side, so it's these fingers are kind of drawn in. Yeah, and the thumbs are really giving that direction to tilt.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, you
Many people, I think.
got a lot of movement on it.
Just a lot.
I'm like, hand-
Not even ready for that.
You're ready for that.
Now I'm over.
Full body contact.
Yeah, that's
Okay. Now, do we need, not everyone has gone, right? Is rested? Okay, so let's see, do we need to, I feel like we need to mix you two up somehow into this mixture.
I need to adjust someone who's not as bendy, because that could bend your inch.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, you're not very good. Okay, I mean, you are ready. You need to adjust the burden, right? Who needs to adjust?
I adjusted both of them.
Okay.
and then
Who-
adjust.
I'm gonna have someone bend. Okay, great. Here, just come in.
Yes, both of us. Okay.
Okay, great, yeah.
Let's give it a whirl.
Are you bending?
I am, yeah, like, cause I need you need.
Okay. Yeah. So, that one is gonna be exactly the same. Like, I'm gonna whirl. Okay, so here we go, you got it.
I'm gonna do it as I warm up.
Yeah.
This is more of like a spine lengthener rather than like the rounding forward.
Yes.
Start rounding forward here or the more. So.
I mean, but you yelled at me because that was perfect. And not your little one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the same, but you can do more. I mean, okay, so do like the hot version, I would say. Cause I think I like the chest lifted for everybody.
I mean, yeah.
So that's good. I think that's great. And like, that's the.
Is that your?
You're looking at us, right?
Yeah, it's like very.
I mean, it's up to you though, because then you are full and see, cause you're nice and extended so that if you do full.
Yeah, cause like, you're like trying to.
Yeah, you're
But I guess I'm. Okay, I'm learning.
Yeah.
Jordan's about to feel the confidence.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go, there we go. I'm doing better today. Yay.
Maybe put it like a little higher. Yeah, now I feel that. Yeah, for sure.
That's good. You can actually maybe
Yeah.
go a little.
Let's go for that.
Good. Are we learning things? So excited. I feel like we are. I feel like we're. A little more on the sacred. Yes.
I'm definitely pressing in the
Right. So you want more.
That one took
I'm like,
I'm like squatting.
No, it's good pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that means it's super tight, so you need that extra pressure.
That was like for me.
Yeah. Not bad.
No.
It's really hard to push it, like you said, like different hands.
Oh my god. No, I feel like they're.
It feels so good. It feels.
I don't know if it'll be a bad idea or a good idea, but I feel like the last, yeah, I feel like the last couple of rounds, I've actually been able to go down all year. Sure.
Yeah. Well, maybe the place I is like, yeah, we'll just try to make it yell at me if it hurts.
Okay.
That's what I'm waiting for. She's like, over my wrong.
From your first one that you did from the old Jordan.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah, you can say them.
Yeah,
That was great. You feel okay doing
So
that,
right.
Jordan, are you okay? You laughed out loud.
I can feel it in your body.
Like,
Yeah.
with Carly, your thumb, I could feel your thumbs and
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel good?
It does.
Yeah.
It's starting, I was kind of thinking now that like I'm more flexible.
I think if you're interested,
Yeah,
Yes.
I am more.
You're
fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like that initial
Yeah,
like tightness and the kind of uncomfortableness to get past.
And then once you push through that.
It felt good though. And you see my lower back feels.
It looks good. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. It might just be like a stretching thing.
Yeah.
I'm not
honestly.
gonna. Oh, and okay, look at this. That is kind of, I yell at you for it.
Yeah.
Even for the first.
Yeah. I'm gonna like go really.
Whenever you try it, like, get that, resistance, you're so high, I guess.
Probably not too much.
Cause I do that all the time, like in a forward fold. I'll be trying.
Okay, everybody. Now.
Now
that I showed you all that one, you can't be doing this to just your average Joe in class.
Not very good.
But so it feels kind
I felt you resist and I'm like, okay, we're not.
Yeah. And that's where you definitely want to try it.
Oh, honestly, I was like, wait, no. It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Yay!
Yeah.
It's also awesome.
Thanks for letting me try.
Yeah. Look at how much you guys know. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like.
Okay, I'm
over
good.
there.
Are we, we're learning some things, yes, right? We're aware of our bodies, other people's bodies, right? Limitations and all that, right? This is why I'm having you all touch everybody. Okay, back on track. We have two more, what? I said bodies are so sick.
Interesting.
I know, isn't it? Okay, and it is fun, like if you ever get a chance to just be the adjuster, it's so much fun, and just, you know, you might be a little tired after all this, right? Because it is like, it's physical work doing this. Okay, so I want us to do eagle and reverse warrior. Make sure we get those, and then if there's any other kind of last minute things. Will someone come into reverse warrior? Let's do that first. Who wants to? Okay, thanks, Megan. You should be able to. Camera woman.
Don't worry. Don't worry, guys.
Okay, so a couple of things. One, I almost always like adjust this knee because for most people it collapses in just because we tend to be tighter in the inner thigh, right? So once we have that, then it's a root down, and then we'll do this and get it up in a way to create that side bend sort of thing. And you can also relax this back shoulder because this shoulder often creeps up on people, right? Or you can do a hand here, closer high up, and a hand here on the ribs to create that lift up and away. This is where when they're inhaling, or when they exhale, you really give it that stretch to lift up and away. And I'm really rooting. So this hand is like, probably like a 5. Would you say this hand about 5-ish? Okay, and then as we inhale, exhale, I would say 4-ish. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Well, here's your other side. It's a street moving out over there. So that same thing, right? Up. You exhale. And it can be like you can stay with it, especially, you know, give it a few breaths. So I'm just kind of continuously lifting up and away and really stabilizing in this bottom. Yeah. Good. Thanks. Okay. Did that answer the question for that? Yes? Okay, so let's do that. Let's do eagle too. I think we can do both and we can practice both. Who wants to do eagle? What was my, you're like not, what was the question about eagle?
I did, I guess, since it was my question.
Okay, do you have a question specifically about it or?
Yeah, because I was adjusting and the person was leaning forward well. And so I was trying to get them to lean back.
Ah, okay, great.
Trying to do a little.
Okay, let's do it. Perfect. Okay, so you do it and I'll see if I can help you out here.
Am I facing the way you want?
That's great. Yeah, yeah. Back has a down pitch.
Don't worry.
She's.
So they're coming forward.
Yeah, so at first I'd come here and I'd be like, tailbone in a little bit, lift your chest, and then I'd say, lean back to my hand with your torso, keep coming back, keep coming back. Yes.
It's kind of scary, I guess. That's what they said. They're like, you're not supporting me.
So that's why I touched you first, and then I said, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming.
And it's like my belly kind of drops like I'm on a roller.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it is, right? But just being, you don't need to have a lot of contact.
So you have a hand here though,
Yep, I have a hand.
stabilizing.
Uh-huh.
And then what I did, I was standing at the side and I had my hand on their back and then I put my hands here and started pushing up
You can.
and
so
almost knocked them over.
Oh, okay. So then do the arms. So the others, so you pick one or the other, right? So you can be here and then you can, then it's a hand here and a hand here to lift. And I'd say draw your tailbone in, from hip bones up a little bit, lift your chest, relax your shoulders. Good. From here, just kind of lifting and being supportive. Yeah. Okay. How's that? Feel okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's give these a try. Any other questions about eagle or any? Okay, let's pick whoever you want. I don't care. Don't over. Let's just do each one. Do eagle and reverse warrior. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I know, right? I just have a question.
Go for it.
Oh, question, yeah. Yes. I mean, it's very.
You know, look, I felt like interested.
And that's really it. It's just elbows are down. So you can still, come in if you want to come in.
The arms first.
Yeah. Or it's actually, you could do all together.
All together, really?
Yes. Very easy. You feel that. So for this, I focus really on focus.
That's something. Yeah. That's what I was talking about.
If I were.
Thank you.
We're on.
All right, you wanna come and get it first?
Sure. You want me to do your preference, you go or reverse first?
It doesn't really. No, it's like.
Reverse.
Usually gets super shaky.
Yeah.
You just make a whole surgery. Just make sure that the last the shoulders. So I'm actually very.
Oh, no, not really. It's not really like people.
Yeah.
Touch or all that stuff.
Man, it's yeah, because I know I do that to me. I always talk. It was like on the side. Yeah, you know, there was a place. And I was trying to adjust and then you almost like fell.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, it's like, oh, but it doesn't feel bad.
You could probably go a
When
little
you're
more
putting more
aggressive.
pressure.
Here.
I guess too.
Yeah, that was better.
Even more probably.
A little bit more.
It made me go. Is there like a specific spot I feel like maybe here?
Yeah, right now it's here, like I felt my side body like open up. This part.
Oh, yeah. Which is like.
That one was good actually. It's movement on there.
Nice. Do you want to switch to the other side?
Sure.
A little bit more with the hand. Yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah, I will. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that it's like. And then it keeps me from like. Do you feel like that's this? I don't know. Sometimes I'm here and I'm like, I could just like. So now I have. That makes me feel like the wind would round it. I think of this one. Yeah.
Yeah, on this side, I feel like the first one, you can make pressure.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very stable.
I'm scared to let go. If you come to the other side, I'll let you go as you come out.
Just making people cut. Yeah, yeah. That was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look, can I like ice cream?
Then when you were starting to try times, I felt like a lot of balance, like I was like working on my belly back.
But also like if you're taller, I probably.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think come out. Awesome. Awesome. Wow, I'm so scared. I dress like so.
I'm also super unstable.
Raise your neck.
This is part two.
Yeah, the cop have like the bane of my existence.
Like,
I mean, if it's slide my hand is on my hand, that's okay.
and then you don't know.
So maybe try that. I was like, oh, okay, air shut down, and yeah, and like straight. No.
It was like a whole like
Yeah, that's how it feels.
I don't know.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, we don't want to stop to that.
I feel like I'm putting us like this. Maybe personally.
It's not wrong, but if you were to just say, oh, I'm only locked in to use that one.
Okay.
Right here. Yeah. Oh, you can bring that. Okay, that's what Oh, okay, so.
I didn't go behind, I just switched, so you should be on the right side.
That's good. It doesn't, even though I hit five, I was doing that. So, I would say, but you could,
Okay.
even if it wasn't, you're holding me.
Yeah.
Mine just tends to be how I'm in my head. Without my hand.
I just feel like awkward.
Yeah, that's how that's. Yeah.
So running like teaching. Like, Thompson.
Yeah.
Oh, like doing that's like it's gonna, you know.
Okay, you don't touch scan.
It's like that.
It's the same with like the lines from your.
I was like holding the bottom of your break down with this.
Oh,
I was like, half the side of the it resolved, yeah, so I was holding it like this as I came up.
I mean, you can.
Would it be awkward if I do that and then your shirt is sliding up as?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way works, if you can, like, yeah, if it's a long push it down, but if it's like. Or the sports bra.
Just needed to get.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, I love that. Like, at the same time.
I, that and hot, I do it together.
Wow.
Do it together.
I actually love that.
I know, isn't it great?
Yeah.
Okay, friends. Oh, yeah.
So.
All right, how'd that go? Good? I do want to cover, one more since Up Dog, just to, a safety tracker with Up Dog, yeah.
For the Eagle, which side are we, like, if it's the right leg, we're on the right side, if it's the left leg, we're on the left. I think I found myself all of a sudden.
I will. Like, I have to be in the moment.
Yeah.
I'd probably be here.
But if we're doing that adjustment.
Yeah, I would be on this side, because then her release is to come up and out with this leg. Yeah, so whatever leg is lifted, I'm on that
That's where
side.
you're.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, will somebody do an up dog for me? Who's that for an up dog? Okay, great. Camera?
Yes.
Now you can do it. You can be on your mat if you want to in that way too. So do a plank, do your chaturanga. Okay. So when we come into it, if you're doing it, two options. One, the knees are back here, right at the shoulder blades. The hands are here to pull. So the knees are pushing, hands are pulling. Okay. You can also do this, the occiput, again, that same
assist here. So you could simply just do this. If the knee thing, if you're like, ah, that scares you, do this sort of thing here. What I don't want to see you do, sorry, you got to I don't, and I'm not gonna really do it to you, so just, you know, is I don't want to see you come here and just pull back without any support back here. Because if you do this, and there's no support, her low back takes all of that pressure. Okay, we don't want to do that. Okay, can you do one more?
Yes.
So there's one more option. So you can, this one, if you're like, so you could either do, if you're like, okay, forget about the knees, I'm not even gonna dive into that. You can do the occiput one here, or you take 2 fingers and you just drop down. Because oftentimes people's shoulders are up like this. So it's just a little bit of pressure down. Okay. Okay, are we clear on that one? Okay, let's try that one real fast. We'll just give it a whirl. You're like, I noted. Noted, yeah. Okay. You guys do it, but I don't. You've been rotating or rotate or not. I don't. So you can do occiput or just the 2 fingers push down, or you can do the knees, and obviously height is gonna matter depending on the size of what the person that you're working with.
That's good. I would never like change the pose, but if somebody were like that.
Maybe we don't, our heights don't work or something, or my.
Really work here.
Yeah, that's good.
That was all.
Or maybe I'm just.
Feel supported.
You're taller than me, though, so. Yeah, I mean, I don't, for Jordan, I don't think I would do more of just a gentle drop down.
It doesn't. I don't know how much you felt like you were doing something.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like a lot. Just like the moves you were in. Yeah, I think you.
Yeah, like when we went.
Yes.
You're-
I think that wasn't feel good, but then like. Yeah, it's not like. They give us per se. Yeah.
I think this is more of.
I know.
Yeah.
It's not like super big, so it's not like arch, it's like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just.
But that's where you got
See here in the shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that, oh, my line.
Like the blade one. So when you like let it go. Yes.
Somebody has to be camera crew. Okay, great. Okay. You want me to talk about
I think I can do this.
Okay, so actually start from standing. We're gonna go through the whole.
Oh, okay, well then. If you could press it a little bit more, then you can.
All right, we're gonna close out with this last little one, because we had a question of like, what? So just one. Well, let's see how, okay. So turn, I'm gonna have you go this way. Okay, so we're gonna go through the whole Sunday. So inhale, arms up overhead. I'm gonna jump through the whole time. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant hands, step back, high plank position. Shift forward, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Oh, take some drop back. Okay, there we go. That's how you do that.
It was like an assisted Sunday, that was so cool.
Yeah.
You have to be quick with that one.
You gotta be quick. When you get in there, you can't hesitate. You just get in there with the breath and you're all in, out. Like it's just like one movement for yourself while we're doing it. Okay, so that's what we do. I'm not going to practice that or not. You might be like, in 6 months. You're like, I'll text you in 6 months. You're like, how do I do that again? Yeah, but or not, or you can, you know, you're good. That's how I would do it. So it's a quick, that up dog, you step out and just pull back for down dog. Yeah. Okay, everyone, I want you to, thank you. Good work today. Yay. Let's look at, I just kind of closing thoughts here. Just a little recap. So page 106 in your manual. So there's a list of 10 things here, kind of big picture, and we covered all these things, but just take a look at this list here. So things to just remember. So when you are adjusting, whether you're doing verbal or hands-on or mirroring or all the things we did today from the ground up, right? We're working from the ground up, same like your cues, all that same. Your